Welcome back to the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. My name is Dion if you're new here, and this is Pumpkin Pie Scented and Flavored Chapstick. We're doing a get ready with me today because I didn't feel like it. I have a live later tonight. Today is February 26th, and I at least wanted to put foundation on. I had in my calendar a look to do with Dede's Signature, the classic autumn eyeshadow palette, and that is what this looks like. And I did go out earlier today, so even though this is a get ready with me for the live, I've already been out today, ran errands, did a lot of things, and I'm just like, I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing makeup. I'm in a funk, but not in a funk. We're going to start with, I have the brows done, Fenty Brow Pencil, of course. We're going to use the Milk Hydro Grip Face Primer, and I'm going to put this on my face because I'm not going to pump it because this is not pumping. This is the Estee Lauder. This is the one I haven't opened yet that I've been just showing you. The shade I wear is 4 in 2, but we're all the way at the top, y'all. And so I think I'm gonna have to take the top off and use a Q-tip to get it out, which means putting it directly on my face versus pumping it. This does not pump anymore. So I don't know whether to put this on the brush, because before I did the thing on the face, but it just felt weird. So we're gonna do, that's one pump. So I'm not in a full-blown funk, and nothing's really wrong. So I really don't even understand like why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling. I did work co-hosting an event, and I did do a scene that was, you know, almost 2 hours, and so that was like, it really kind of wore me out. But and we're going to do one more full pump because when I pump this on a palette, I do use 2 full pumps. And so we're just going to still do the 2 full pumps. But I've been feeling this way for a few weeks now. And it's been on and off. Not a consistent funk, like I don't want to do anything. But I'll have like a burst of, hey, let me do this. And I do put everything that I want to do daily in my calendar. And so I'm always looking like, okay, what did I have planned for tomorrow? And then when tomorrow becomes today, what did I plan on doing today? And I do those things. And if something doesn't get done for whatever reason, migraine or something like that, excuse me, or a bad pain day, then I just shift it to the next day or, you know, the day after that day or something. So stuff still gets done. Under my nose has been more red lately. And I did not do my full-blown skincare last night. And when I woke up today, my skin was like, okay, you want to play? I'll play. And I did notice that the tacrolimus wasn't working as well for the redness under here. And so I put the ketoconazole on today, and it did clear up. But then as it wears off, you know, and that is something I put on like twice a day. So, yeah, so my skin stuff is changing. The reason why this is red under here is changing because one cream is for one issue, the other cream is for another issue. So I'm taking out a Q-tip, and we're going to take the lid off, and we're going to take the top of this off. And the first thing we're going to do, because there is like some around here where the nozzle is, we're going to, I didn't realize there was that much in here. So this is the nozzle like going into the pump. And the first thing I did was I did go around the pump. And so I am going to wash this later because these are reusable. And I can see from here up to, well, this entire area, like this piece right here, there is product there. And so I am just dipping straight in, and I'm going to swirl it. Look at this. So if you're pumping it and it's not coming out, there's still product in there. Like, look at this. And that was just one thing. So I'm going to go in again. I just tapped in that time. I didn't swirl it because we're going to get up here to my forehead. So let me know how you've been doing. The weather was really nice today. I had on a thin hoodie, and I was hot with that on. And what I do, I made a deposit at the bank, then I did some PayPals to Covering the Gap because we had some financial donations for Covering the Gap, and on the Covering the Gap website they do have a PayPal link. And so when the money was donated to me for Covering the Gap, I deposited into my account, and then I PayPal'd it over, and I took screenshots to send to the people, just so they know for sure that their money got to where it was supposed to go to. And then I went to the post office, mailed some packages, mailed my little sis 2 boxes. One I'm really excited about because I purchased something, and I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to give it away. But anyway, I did tell one of my official troll fam what I had did. And so I'm excited, and I'm not talking about it because I don't want her to know what I did. I don't know like how often she watches YouTube, but I want it to be a surprise. And so yeah, so I'm excited for her to get it so then I can finally use it. You know what I'm saying? So this, excuse me, this does cover very well. I'm tapping back in lightly. So now that this is almost done, I'm going to finish up the Pat McGrath that I have in this airless pump. And then I will go back and open up the new Fenty and the new Estee Lauder and the new Pat. Or I might just use just the one. We'll see how I'm feeling, because even though I like all 3 of them for different reasons, the finishes are different for all 3. The Estee Lauder, even though this is full coverage, like it never looks cakey. And by the end of my day, which might be like 2 or 3 in the morning, I'll be like, oh, let me just, take a shower and go to bed. Or at least just take a shower, because sometimes I don't go to sleep until like 10 a.m. And I'll go look in the mirror and be like, damn, I still got makeup on. Like, I do not feel it on my face. And for it to be full coverage, it is, to me, it's lightweight. So we're going to leave this like this. I'm trying to debate if I want to put on concealer. I think not. So this did even me out, even under my nose. And I know Pat's not going to do this because Pat is a very sheer foundation, but it is a good color for me. This, I think I might have like 2 more uses out of that, which is amazing. I'm going to throw this in my makeup trash. This can go away. Let me see. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the face. So thank you for being here with me, those of you who like the full-blown get ready with me's. And we're going to take the Fashion Fair Set It Loose powder in Truly Tawny. So let me know what's new with you. What did I do after the post office? Oh, then I went to Trader Joe's. I was going to go to Aldi's because I wanted to get, I like one of their bag salads in particular, and it is the I think it's the Southwest salad. But then I was thinking of the salad, and it comes in a bag, and it's like 3 servings in a bag, and it has all the stuff in there and the dressing. And of course, I do still add other stuff to it sometimes. I always add a protein. Some I will add, extra vegetables like, raw broccoli, raw cauliflower. I might put, cut up cooked beets and put beets in it, bell peppers, other stuff. I usually add cheese because I'm just a cheesy person. My favorite cheese is Gouda. And so I'll add, cheese in it. And I think I already said I put a protein in it. But Trader Joe's has a salad, and it's like barbecue, black cracked pepper, something. And it's a spicy cheese that's in it. Why did I feel like I just got loud? It's just something spicy about it, and I like it. The flavoring of it. And the flavorings, and the extra stuff, like if there's tortillas and the salad dressing, of course, and whatever else is inside of a plastic bag, inside of the bag with the salad. And so I like how they just have everything there for you. So it makes for a really quick, easy meal. So I'm like, okay, Trader Joe's or Aldi's. Trader Joe's is near Christiana Mall, which I would need to pass the mall exit to go to Aldi's. So I was just like, So it's neither here nor there because I'm so close to everything. So I was just like, what do I want to do? And so we're using House Labs Deep Level 10 first, and then we're going to use the Medium Level 7. This is the 10. And so I ended up going to Trader Joe's because then I was thinking, I really like their cheese puffs. Those corn puffs that I showed you guys before. But then I'm trying to pay more attention to my sodium intake. Because I have times when I'll just go on a snack attack with chips. If I buy a bag of chips, like the family size bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, I'll eat that bag in like 3 days. And my blood pressure is higher than my doctor would like it to be. And it's always higher when I go to the hospital for appointments than it is at home. But even at home, you know, I did tell him it is still higher than he would want it to be. He's wanting at least 140 over 90 or less. Lower than 140 over 90. And that's not what it is, even at home. But when I go there, it is this one lady, this one nurse, she was like, "Do you feel okay?" It might have been one of my Botox appointments, because they always take anytime before I see any doctor, they take my blood pressure before I see the doctor. And my pressure was high. And she was like, "Do you feel okay?" She said, "You're just walking around like everything's all right." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Your blood pressure." She's like, you don't feel dizzy or anything?" I'm like, "No." So she was like really concerned. And I was just like, "No, like it's not dizzy at home." I'm like, "I feel fine." But so I'm trying to pay attention, and I have noticed, like the other day I ate some Doritos, and that next day when I took my blood pressure, it was high. And I'm like, so I'm trying to be more aware. And I did agree again to try another blood pressure medication. The one I tried before, I had a really bad reaction to it. My legs swelled up really bad. I broke out in this horrible rash. It was just awful. And he was away. And so the nurse that replied to my message, she was like, "Well, we can send you a water pill to reduce the swelling." I said, "Well, every day I was on that medication, the rash got worse and it spread, and it was more and more itchy, and my skin on my calves were so swollen, it felt like my skin was going to crack, and my ankles and feet were so swollen, I had trouble walking." And so she's like, "Well, we can send you something for the swelling." And I'm like, "Well, if it's the medication," I have dry skin around my nose, of course. I said, "If it's the medication," which it was, because every day the rash got worse, the swelling got worse, the itching got worse. I said, "If it's the medication, you giving me something to reduce the swelling isn't going to help, because the swelling is because of the medication, and not to mention the rash." And she's like, "Well, I can send you." I said, "Don't send me anything." I said, "I'm not taking more and more medications, because who's to say how those are going to affect me too." So picking a House Labs blush at random. Ooh, the size guy. The size guy. And so I did take pictures to show my doctor, because every day I was taking pictures of like what my legs were looking like, what the rash was looking like, what the swelling was looking like, because I didn't want him to think I was making up stuff. And I am allergic to, you know, quite a few like different medications. And so I asked him to add it to my chart, because if I'm incapacitated, I don't want them giving me something and I have a reaction, and they're like that dingbat nurse, like, "Oh, let's just give her something for the symptoms," when it's the medication that's causing the issue. You know what I'm saying? So he did put it in my chart. He's like, "Well, we can try such and such. It's in a different family than this one, so you know you should be able to tolerate it." I said, "It doesn't encourage me, you saying it's in a different family of medications, because who would have thought I would have had the reaction to that one?" You know what I'm saying? So like, who knows? I don't know until I take it. And that's why it was risky for me to even try the Botox, because that takes months to wear out of your system. And if I would have had a bad reaction to that, that just would have been like a horrible 3 months out of my life. But that's how desperate I was. And I can feel the migraines, where the blood pressure being high, well, higher than he wants it to be. Like, I don't feel anything different. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then, you know, he would say, "Well, have you thought more about it?" And he never pressured me, which I told him I do appreciate, because some doctors will just hound you and be like, "Well, you blah, 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 neither this." He's never been that way. And he tells me, "I do understand your concerns." And he'll always look at my medication allergy list, and he'll be like, "You are allergic to like quite a bit." And they put what the allergy was. Golden Pyrite from House Labs, they'll put what the medication was, and they'll put what it did, like what the reaction was. And so he'll always look at it and be like, "Yeah, there is quite a bit here." So I tell him that I appreciate that he does take into consideration like my hesitation based on my history with new medications. And that's the same way with makeup. When I find something that works, I stick to it. You give me a medication that works, I'm gonna stick to it because I just don't know like what the heck is gonna happen. This is Hourglass Radiant Light. So I do appreciate that. And I know he is concerned. And I know my blood pressure really is higher, even at home, than they want it to be, even though it's lower than when I go into the hospital for appointment. And so I told him, I said, at the last appointment, I said, I hope you hear me because it's paining me to even say this, but I will try another blood pressure medication. And he stopped and looked at me. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to say it again. So he starts looking up stuff, and so he, told me about one in particular, and he's like, we'll try that. And I'm just like, all right, dude. So, and that was a rough day for me. That was a hard day for me because anytime, I know I'm busted up. I know I have issues. This is MAC Color Excess Gel Pencil Eyeliner, and it's in Pool Shark. Even though I know I have a lot of issues, for me, it's like when I agree to take a medication, that's like admitting there's something wrong with me. And it's weird because I already know it's something wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? I already know my blood pressure is higher than he would like it to be. But just being like, okay, I'm going to take something forward. It made it more real, so to speak. I'm not a fan of pulling my eyes because I do have wrinkles and stuff. Wrinkles and bags. So he ordered it for me, so it should be coming soon in the mail because he ordered it. When was I there? I think it was the middle of last week was my appointment. So any day now, it should be showing up in the mail. But anyway, so that's that. So that was hard for me. And so that night I was feeling depressed. And I'm thinking like, what the hell happened? Like, why am I feeling depressed? And I said, you know what? Because I acknowledged it was something that was wrong with me. And my disability was that way too. My injury happened when I was 30. And it took me a long time to even acknowledge that I was disabled. I was 30 years old. Who wants to acknowledge they're disabled at 30 years old? And so I kept, playing it off. And then people were like, oh, you're too young to feel this way. So that didn't help me accept it either. Because everybody around me, including some of the doctors I had at the time, were like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, you do know I got injured, right? So that was like a whole thing too. And I didn't accept being disabled until I was in my 40s. And now I'm like, yep, give me my military discounts, give me my disability discounts, give me my handicap placard. But it took me a long time to get to that point, like over 10 years to accept, I'm not fully functional because I look like I am. And if I don't say much, people think I am. But then when I start talking, they're like, what the hell is she talking about? And y'all can attest to that because sometimes even in videos, I'll say stuff and be like, wait, what? What did I say? You know what I mean? So if you can relate to any of this, let me know. Or not. I just want you to know, be realistic and just accept whatever is a part of you in your life. And me being disabled is a part of me, and it is a part of my life. And it doesn't matter. It does. It matters, but it shouldn't matter as much what other people say. Because my family wasn't accepting it. I wasn't accepting it. I'm going to use the travel size, the finishing spray, the regular one versus the bridal, because I want to use this up so I can put the makeup removal spray in here. So we're going to use this one. So just know, ooh, you know what? That eyeliner felt like it was kind of sticking. Because this is a finishing spray and also a setting spray. And it's like setting it. Which happens sometimes if I spray and then I put on, if I spray after putting on mascara, I can feel like my lashes want to stick. And so, but just know it's okay. And if there's people in your life that are not accepting, or they're downplaying, or, making jokes, about your conditions or how you're feeling, and not that we need their validation, validate yourself. Just know it's okay, and just know who you are and not try to be something you're not, because I was trying to not be not fully functional, and it made things worse. Because when I'm trying to do things that I know I should not be doing, and my body's going to remind me, like, okay, you want to do too much? Okay. All right. Go ahead. You'll see tomorrow how you feel. But so just know that it is okay. And if you are surrounded by people, well, not even like, well, yeah, if you're around people who just don't accept that part of who you are, do they really accept you, period? Because you are who you are. What's wrong is what's wrong. And I just want you to know that it's okay. And, you know, if you have those down moments, you know, it's okay. Just don't stay there. Just don't live there. And the bottom line is, we can pretend nothing's wrong. Like, I've been new, you know, my blood pressure was higher than they would like it to be. My doctor would like it to be. I've known that for a long time. But now that I'm finally, again, like, okay, I'll try something, it's just like, fuck. And I told him one of my other concerns is I live alone. So when something happens, there's nobody to take care of me. Like, when I could barely walk, I still had to get up and get my meds. And even if I kept my meds nearby, you know, if I wanted to fix something to eat, even if I ordered something, I still had to get up and go to the door. You know what I mean? And so there's nobody here, you know, to help me. So I told him that's another factor too. Because if I have a really bad reaction, I'm just ass out. It's just, you know, call the ER and have them go to the leasing office for them to open the door and then just, you know, carry me out or something. And I know that sounds drastic, but who knows? Like, I could barely walk from that other medication. And so those are the things that I think about, and not to be dramatic or, you know, over dramatize things, but I do think about what's the worst thing that can happen. And then I don't have help. So, and he understands that too. And my doctor is really good. Like, he's really good. He's one of those people too where if I tell him, you're a really good doctor, I really appreciate you, he'll just start talking about something else. Like, he does not be like, oh, wow, thank you. You know, he's just, and I get it because that's his job and that's what he does. And even when I, you know, was officially unretired, and people are like, oh my gosh, you know, you're so great as a therapist. And I'm like, so how are you feeling today? Like, I would just bypass it because it's not about me. It's about me helping that person. So this is what the palette looks like. So hopefully all of this makes sense. Yeah, so it doesn't take long for me to do a base face. And I did blend the blush out longer than usual because the sunny sky, y'all saw it. It is dark, but it blends out so well. So this is what the classic autumn palette, the classic autumn eyeshadow palette looks like. I don't remember what looks I did with it before. I don't know what look number this is, and I was going to look it up and then I got distracted. But this is what she looks like. And so we're going to be doing another look with this today. This palette doesn't call to me and I don't really quite know why. We're going to take Squash, this shade here. And this is actually going to go all over the lid. And I'm wondering if it'll work with a dense shader brush versus a shorter, stubbier shader brush. Because it is a metallic. But if I remember correctly, oh yeah, this is fine. This brush is fine. I love this formula. I just don't know what it is about this palette that it just doesn't call my name. And I do like the looks that I've done with it. And it is easy to work with. I do have tape over Mushroom. That shade. I was so close to like ditching this palette. Because I'm like, this shade, it just gets everywhere. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. I'm like, It was just messy as hell. And even in the palette, you clean it up and then it's everywhere and all over the station. So I did clean up the palette as best I can, even using alcohol and other stuff. And actually one of my official troll fam, she suggested putting tape over it. And I did, and it helps a lot. So now it's not messy. Because I knew I knew from the 1 or 2 times I used it, I definitely used it once. I'm like, I'm never using that shade again. I'm like, it was just, it was just too freaking messy. And it is beautiful, but it was just too messy. And even using a sponge tip applicator, it was just everywhere. So I'm doing this just to blend this upward. If you have this palette, let me know. I'm going to show it to you again. So if you don't and you like the look, you can just dupe out the colors. And these kind of are basic tones, kind of. And so I'm looking at it like, do I have similar stuff? Looking at this from some angles reminds me of, what's that fiery shade? What palette is that? It's a Pat McGrath Mothership. It reminds me of that fiery orange that's in there. And it's not a dupe for it, but it just reminds me of that because of how bright it is. See, now I want to take a moment out and pull out that palette to see, but we're going to keep rolling because we got stuff to do. I'm excited. Excuse me. The live tonight I'm excited about. I'm more excited about the live the following Monday because it's a haul and there's some stuff in there for y'all. So I'm just excited to, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to show you because I just like to shop even if it's not for me, and I need to stop that. And everything was on sale, so I mean, I'm still within my perpetual low buy. Now we're going to take Eggplant, which is this purple right here. This is pretty. This reminds me of a color from Mission XXX, except this might be more shiny. This can be a one and done. Put a, that melt green liner, the Fortune, that would look nice upper lash line because we'll play into this. And just put on mascara. This can be your look and you can be done, y'all. But we're going to keep going because y'all know we keep going. So we're going to take Eggplant, this purple right here. I don't know if I have this purple anywhere. I'm trying to think of, that's nice. Ooh, that's nice. We're turning it sideways using the top of it just to start blending up here. That's nice. Oh, wow. It's not quite a lethal shade. Because I'm looking at the tone of it and I'm thinking, because in here it doesn't look like any of my lethal purples. But once you put it on and blend it next to something, it could have that same type of look. And so what I've been doing lately is paying more attention to what shadows look like when I put them on. And when I see swatches, what do they look like? And I think about, do I have something similar already? And I've done that quite a bit for a long time, but even more so now. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't feel like I buy a lot of eyeshadow palettes because a lot of indie brands use pressed pigments. My lids don't tolerate them. Other stuff, even if they're eyeshadow palettes, I'm waiting on a palette now, y'all, and they told you 4 to 12 weeks for delivery. And I'm like, that's fucking insane. But I ordered it and I forgot about it. But what I did was, because I knew I was going to forget, I put in my calendar when I ordered it, and then I put in, this is the 4-week mark, this is the 8-week mark, this is the 12-week mark. So at least if it never comes after like 12 weeks, I can contact the brand. But anyway, I'm like, that's insane. And so I'm deterred by those extremely long wait times. I will make an exception for Notoriously Morbid. I do want their red palette. I forget what it's called. And I'm trying to figure out why I want it, because I don't do a lot of red looks. And the way it looks though, and I think what's making me want it is, number one, is really pretty. But number two, because of Bog Witch. The red one is a 9-pan palette. And Bog Witch is like, oh yeah, that's cute. But when I did looks, I was like, oh. And even y'all were like, that's definitely, swamp witch vibe. And I was just like, oh my God. So in my mind, I'm like, if this red palette has this type of effect, I'm just like, but I really do want it. But for me, with Notoriously Morbid, I seldom just order one palette because you got to pay shipping and it takes a month. And I don't want to be waiting and waiting and waiting. This is pretty. I am wondering if I could do this with Lethal. I don't know. Do I have Fallout? I don't know. But we're going to do this anyway. This is the brush that had Fashion Fair Truly 20 on it. I was going to take black Tupelo. What I wanted to point out, and I don't know if I noticed it before, I called this eggplant, but its plant is spelled P-A-I-N-T. So it's eggplant. So I don't know if it's really an eggplant or if it's really just supposed to be plant for eggplant. Like, I don't know. And in one of, I think it was Morgan's video for something else, don't quote me on if it was her or not, but no, it might have been Millie, Bad to the Brow. And this was a while ago. And she was, because they had sent her something. And she was saying how, with the typos. And I'm just like, ooh. And so that is something that happens with this brand. It happens with other brands too. I remember the Scott Barnes palette that I had. I'm coming inside the purple line with this black because I don't want to overshadow the purple with the black to create the outer V because it's already a V. And one of his shades was called Promiscuous. And he said during the reveal, he said it was supposed to say promiscuous, but there was a typo that nobody caught. And so once it came out and the palettes were done, he was like, well, it's just going to be promiscuous. And so it does happen and it does get overlooked. But yeah, so I don't know if it's really a such thing as eggplant or if that's really supposed to be plant. Like, I don't know. So yeah, we're staying inside of the purple line. I have this brush here just to buff in. This has no shadow on it. This is just a regular pencil brush type thing. This is a blending brush. Both of these are Esom brushes. I did a shader brush video, and the next one that's going to go up, I scheduled them 2 weeks apart. The shader brush, blending brushes, and liner brushes, and those are going to go up on Sundays just for beginners, or even if you're not and you just like seeing and hearing about different types of brushes. And so because I use the same ones, I'm really trying to get out of the habit of saying this is Vinci 230 brush, because it's not about, the particular brush. It's just about the type of brush for me and for what I want it to do. This is nice. I want to take this a little further over, and again, this has no shadow on it. Yeah, so we're just pulling this over this way some more. This is nice. Oh my gosh, this is nice. Now we're going to take Pumpkin, this shade right here, and we're going to use it out as our transition. We're using a tapered blending brush, and so for this, we're just going to tap straight in. So it's just a little bit on the tip of the brush, and we're going to tap. I don't want to swipe right away. Just kind of want to see what it's going to look like. I tapped in twice again, tapped off. And also I'm trying to, well, not trying to, but I made it a point not to take my lid shade all the way up to the brow like I did before, because I knew I was going to use a transition shade. And when I take my lid shades all the way up, almost to the brow, sometimes I don't do transition. I may still do or may not still do a brow bone highlight shade. And that's something that has changed. There's been 3 distinct ways that I've done my lid shades over the years. I started with the YouTuber's way. And I'm trying to figure out, like, if I want to do a video, like do a look, this is the YouTuber's way, how I used to do makeup, because when I was starting, I was looking at the YouTubers and doing what they did. And then I realized I liked it with my lid shades higher up. And so I started doing that. And somewhere along the line, I started taking the lid shades like way, way up high. And I like that too, depending on, the look I'm going for. So I was trying to decide if I want to do a video, do one look the YouTuber's way, do another look my way, the troll way, and another look with the shadows all the way up, my lid shades all the way up. We did tap in again with Pumpkin, and we tapped in just once with Pumpkin again and tapped off. So I don't know, because I did do a video a while ago. One look was the YouTuber's way, the other look was my way, the troll way. And comments were they like my way better because you see more of the lid shades and for my eye shape and the puffiness and everything. And so I don't know if I'm going to do that again, because if I just do like 3 individual looks, I did tap in again to Pumpkin. It might be hard to see the differences because it'll be different clips. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Now we're going to take Kiwi, this green, with this pencil brush, the same as one we use for the black. And we're going to put, I could actually even do this one, but we're going to go bold. We're going to do the green, and we are just tapping straight in, tapping off, and we're going to put this on our lower lash line. So I'm not sure. And the thing would be, now that I'm processing this with you, so thank you for being here to help me figure this out, is that if I did that, I would want to do the same look. So that way you can really see the difference and not just be like, oh, okay, well, that's, you know, this color story, that's that color story. And of course I would use the same brushes. And so thank you for helping me figure this out. So if I do it, it'll be 3 clips, the same look. It'll just be different techniques, same brushes. And just see, like, does it really make a difference? I do know that YouTuber's way versus my way does make a difference. This is nice. But, and it does make a difference if I take shades higher up or not, because there's still space here. And even though I put pumpkin here, which is more so a skin tone shade for me, it still looks different than if I would have took this green all the way up, or if I took the purple, you know, further up. And so it does make a difference. But when you see one look one way and another video another way, it's like, I don't know if it's noticeable that way. You know what I mean? So we're going to, I don't think I have any fallout. I am seeing radiant light under my eyes. Or is that fallout? I don't know. We're going to take a green, of course. We are just all green. I kind of don't want to do a green. And, you know, we're going to take macro violet, which is a purple. And I don't know how much... Ooh, something's in my eye. I don't know how much this is going to show up. Part of me is just saying just do a black and be simple, because the black will show up. Because macro violet always does not show up, depending on what's underneath it. I just put the brushes away. So we're going to do this. This is a very thin eyeliner brush. This is the MAC 210. And I'm thinking I should have used one of the Esom brushes, because it's a thicker brush than this. Because it would have made a thicker line. And then the liner would have showed up more, I think. But I think this is okay. I like this side. I usually do like this side. And then the other side I don't. So it's there, but it's not there. Sorry for that thing. So over here it's not going to show up because it's over a purple. And this is a purple. So I don't even know why I came over here. How to have it. Let me know this below as well. Like, have you changed your... That looks nice. Let me know if you've changed your makeup technique over the years. Or if you just mostly stick to the same technique. And there is no right or wrong answer. The right answer is whatever answer you give. Because... Did I do the intro? I didn't do the intro. It's just doing your makeup in the way that you like it. I did not do the intro. I just realized that because I was just thinking how, you know, you set the standard for yourself and do your makeup however you want to. I did just jump right in, didn't I? I didn't mean to. I meant to show you what we were using and then do the intro. Did I do the intro? No, I didn't, because then when I primed the lid, when I primed my face, I just kept going. And then I was talking about the foundation. Wow, I really skipped the intro. Well, thank you for being here. I do remember saying my name in the beginning, so if you're new here, you know who I am. I like this. I do. Yeah, I probably should have used the black because this is not showing up much, but it's like there because my lower lash line looks heavy. It looks really dark, which I do like, but it's not balanced with the top. So that's what I'm kind of like, So we're going to use the MAC Stack Mascara. This is the only mascara I have open right now. Y'all, I really am not missing using other lipstick colors. I do believe, though, once I start using other lipstick colors again, that I am going to like it. But using a black lipstick for all my looks for Black History Month, like, I do not miss other lip colors. And at the beginning of the month, I was like topping it with a gloss or another liquid lipstick or something. But it's just something for me about that matte black liquid lipstick. I just love that look. I really do. And I do suggest that you try it. Like, if you're intimidated by it. I will say this though. I do acknowledge I'm tan. If you are fair skin, I'd say try like a deep dark brown versus a black, because that may be too much of a contrast. And I do like a black lipstick for me because I do like the contrast against my complexion. And honestly, everyone I've seen a black lipstick on, and I have seen some fair complexion people with black lipstick on, I think everyone that I've seen wear it rocked it. And so I do recommend it. But if you're not wanting to do a black lipstick, try just like a dark, deep dark brown and just see. And with the black lipstick, if you don't like it, just top it with a gloss, because that'll change what it looks like. And you've seen me top it in videos, and it does really change how it looks. What? Somebody's walking their dog. Oh, I had my balcony door open. It was like 50 something degrees today. I had my balcony door open, and I lit a candle, because I'm like, it's been stuffy in here because it's been closed up. So, Max Matte Retro Liquid Lip Color. We're going to put this on. I threw away the Sephora one. I like the MAC one better. And I started to feel it was foolish for me to keep them both when I know which one I like better. It's a nice option, and the price isn't expensive. MAC does sometimes have 20% off sales, and they have a rewards program. But when the Sephora collection stuff is 30% off, you can get the Sephora ones. They're called cream stained liquid lipsticks. When they're on sale for 30% off, I want to say, are they $10 and some change? Don't quote me on that. And they have other colors. They have neutral colors. They have berry tones, purples, browns. If MAC in their retro one, if they had more colors like Sephora did, I would have the MAC ones. But they only have the black, and then there's like a purple. And the purple has shimmer to it. So I'm like, I had it a while ago. For a little while. I think this is going to be it. But I really wish MAC would come out with darker colors. This is our finished look. Thank you so much for being here with me, hearing all of my thoughts and all the stuff I'm going through, and well, not all the stuff I'm going through, but yeah, this is this palette, y'all. Let me know what you think. I am digging the look. Excuse me. As you can see, it was easy to work with. Not a lot of mess, not any mess hardly. Everything went on fine. It's a beautiful palette. But I am thinking I can do something similar with my lethal stuff. And so I am not enticed by a lot of palettes when I see them come out, because I'm like, that look like such and such. That look like such and such. What I have been paying attention to lately is when I do a look, if it just happens to remind me how I looked at this, like, this looks like something I could do with lethal. There were a few looks that I did, and I'm like, this is similar to, not a dupe, but similar to a look that I've done with my Teen Cosmetics 669 palette, which I love, because eventually that palette is going to die, and they are not bringing it back. And so I'm really just like, I want them to bring it back. But knowing that they're not, I'm really like, when I come across a look that I do that similar to something with that palette, I get really excited, because I'm like, at least I can still just do this look since I won't have that palette for forever. But this is what we have. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my ramblings. And again, just know that if there's things that's going on with you mentally or physically, if people in your life are not accepting of it, just still know it's okay to be you and not to downplay whatever it is, because how you feel is valid. Whatever's happening to you is valid. And sometimes we just need to validate ourselves and not care too much about what other people say or what they think, or if they're, cracking jokes. I'm like, being hurt is not funny. You know what I mean? And so it can be difficult, but know that what's the word I'm looking for? Knowing that you are, I don't even know what word am I trying to say. Know that your feelings are valid, and know what you're going through is valid. And so it doesn't matter if people accept it or not. And sometimes, in my case, I had to create new boundaries and be like, hey, you do remember such and such. Like, to not just ignore when people say slick shit out their mouth to you because they don't understand or because they don't accept it. They don't have to accept it, but you're not going to disrespect me to my face anyway. And so, but that was a me thing. So that's something I had to learn too, is not to just be, when they say something slick, just be like, no, I don't no more. No, I'm going to say something. And they look at me like, oops. And I'm like, So, but anyway, know that you are okay the way you are. Like, however you are, whatever's going on, you're okay. And love yourself, accept yourself. And if you need help, get help. And if you're struggling with accepting help, or in my case, not wanting to take another medication because that's an admittance of something's wrong, deep down we already know something's wrong. But doing something about it, that's just like, wow, like this is really real. It's always been real. It's always been there. It's always been real. Well, it's been there as long as it's been there, but it's always been real. And so just know how important it is to take care of yourself. And that's why I made the decision to, like, okay, I'll try something else and just hope I don't have a bad reaction. And because health is important. And as much as I talk about, mental health and self-care, self-acceptance, self-love, part of self-care and self-love and self-acceptance is taking care of ourselves physically. And we sometimes need to be our biggest cheerleaders. Sometimes we need to be our biggest advocate, And so do whatever it is you need to do to take care of yourself. And if you need help, ask for help and accept help. And I know it can be difficult, but just know you're not alone. There's somebody out there. There's people out here that really care about you. And we really went way off on that one. So my clinician kicked in. I have a possible new client. So my brain is already like kicking into gear for that. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, for listening to me talk, being here for the full face get ready with me, except the brows were already done. It does help me to sit here and play and makeup, and it's easier when I can chat with you. And so thank you. So when I thank you for being here, like I really mean it. Like it means a lot to me, and it does help me to talk to you and to read the comments and get your thoughts and the chit chat and stuff down below. So we're going to go. Our live is in like 20 minutes for tonight, February 26th. And what is this one? Oh, if I can only keep 10 eyeshadow palettes. Some of you will not be surprised at all. That's all I can say. You see my collection. You know how I feel about it. Excuse me. If you're new here, I do gurgle, belch, and hiccup sometimes in videos. It's unintentional, and you've seen that quite a few times in this video already. If that's okay with you and you've enjoyed this video, thumbs up the video. If not, thumbs down the video. If you've been here before, or this is your first time and you've enjoyed this video and listening to what I'm saying, and if it hit home for you, go ahead and subscribe. I have a lot of information down below. I have a lot of playlists on my channel. I do post stuff also on my community tab. So just hang out if you have the time and browse around, hang out, spend time, like, comment, share, join if you're interested in that. And if you're not on a no-buy, there's links down below. Most of them are affiliated. The Nomad one is not affiliated, but it will still save you 10% off your purchase. So we're going to go. I know I keep saying that. Thank you again for being here. As always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.